Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome back to another episode of Level Up Please, or now is this new podcast known as Plastic Hype, where we cover exciting projects that you might have missed, and hopefully it will bring some new ideas and excitement into the hobby. Now, I must first excuse myself because if you haven't picked out already, I'm currently sick. So I have an issue with my voice. My throat wants to cough all the time. So this episode would not be the longest episode that we've recorded here. But last week, we did agree. Well, I agreed with myself that we're going to be running these every week. And what kind of commitment is it if I drop out after the first week of making such a commitment? So anyway, here we are. Thank you for watching. And let's talk about what's exciting for me this week. So as usual, for the people who is new to this series, we talk about stuff that's exciting in the realms of Age of Sigma, because it's my favorite tabletop war game at the moment. It's pretty much my number one hobby. Maybe I'll do some videos about how amazing it is, why it's such a great hobby, but that's a topic for another time. So getting back to this video, we're going to be talking about cool stuff that's in Age of Sigma, and then the second part of this series is always about other projects that's out there, that's exciting, that's worth hyping for. And that's it. All right, so let's get into the first video that I have for us here. Surprise, surprise. Let's have a look at this.
16.
I have fought and fallen times beyond counting. Only to be reforged anew. I feel my humanity dulled, my memories eroded. My burden weighs heavily. In Sigmar's name, we shall bring order to the savage realm. For I am Stormcast, and my war wages eternal.
Now, after we have shown you that, or you've watched this, if you haven't watched this before this channel, I wonder if you have seen this video. It's very cool, and I know this is not exactly plastic hobbies, like this good old Craxigo here next to me. This is, in fact, a real-time strategy game on the computer, on consoles. But why is it exciting? Why am I hyped about this? Why it is very exciting to hype about is this character at the back of the screen. Let me try to make myself smaller. Or actually, let's go to another screen so you can see the middle character there. She is the leader of this narrative game on the computer, and essentially, this is a very much Age of Sigma based lore video game that introduces people to 4 factions. That's what the game developers promised. It's going to be 4 factions on launch, and it's going to be, we know it's going to be Stormcast Eternals, and that's also going to be Crew Boys. Now that is very cool, because for a lot of people who have started Age of Sigma like myself a couple of years ago, when we hit COVID and we jump into it, of course the Dominion box is the classic, well, version 3 starter kit, and it's the Stormcast and the Crew Boys. Now, that I think is only accessible to people who are into the hobby, plastic hobbies itself already, but it's not really open to a lot of people who like sport games or likes RTS games. I don't know. Name a normal player. Probably play Diablo. Probably play League of Legends or whatever the new hype is these days. Maybe Valorant or Overwatch. Okay, that just shows how outdated some of my new online gaming type of games out there. But the point is, a lot of people probably don't know it. And I did a bit of research, just asking people, and also looking online. A lot of people who started Warhammer, if they're not surrounded by people who play Warhammer, like someone in the family that plays Warhammer, a lot of people started Warhammer either on the Dawn of War series or something equivalent that they have touched on somewhere else, and they go, man, this is cool, I want to play this. Maybe this hobby is for me too, I want to get into it. And I think this could be one of those bridges, like Dawn of War, to get people into the 40k, where you've got these crazy space marines go, for the Emperor, every second line. It's pretty cool, but now they're actually doing it properly for Age of Sigmar. Now, why is this also exciting? I'm going to show you in the next video, and then we're going to talk about that very shortly.
Peggy 16.
The Stormcast Eternals are mortal heroes that have been transformed into supernatural warriors in the forges of Azir. Each the embodiment of Sigmar's storm. They are the God King's wrath made manifest, and they were created for one single purpose: outright war. While they may be few, when a Stormcast Eternal falls, they are brought back time and time again to fight anew. In Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Realms of Ruin, you will command the mighty Stormcast Eternals in their quest to defend an ailing Dawnbringer settlement from unrelenting raids by the wicked and savage Orruk Kruleboys. Sigrun, commander of a detachment of Stormcast Eternals, embarks on a perilous mission to the wild and savage swamps of Gur. She seeks to obtain a great artifact that will help them turn the tides against the Orruk menace. The Stormcast Eternals are a robust, elite army that excel when fighting in a combined force of frontline fighters and ranged attackers. Their access to a variety of different troops and reliance on well-rounded forces requires a hefty investment of resources to hold their ground. The steadfast Stormcast Eternal heroes have abilities to heal and resurrect fallen units, or lead from the front with devastating charges and powers that call down the storm to obliterate enemies. As commander, you'll have access to a wide range of units, including Annihilators, formidable and elite soldiers, emboldened by impervious thunderstrike armor and devastating meteoric hammers. Prosecutors, warrior heralds of Sigmar, who soar through the battlefield at incredible speeds, unhindered by the grasping swamps of Gur. And finally, the mighty Stormdrake Guard, dragon-riding knights capable of annihilating enemy hordes with lance, claw, and righteous wormflame.
All right, okay. That's probably where we should stop watching the video, because it starts to talk about the feature of the RTS. But if we focus back on what we looked at a moment ago, how is that not the picture-perfect description of what Stormcast Eternals are? If you're trying to explain to a mate what Stormcast Eternals is, and what is Age of Sigmar, I mean, this is the army for Sigmar, Age of Sigmar. So I think the descriptions are perfect, and the representation of many of the aspects of Stormcast Eternals, it's right on point. Like, I don't know if... dear watcher, you watching this, have you seen the new range of Vindictors or Annihilators? The Annihilators, like they were showing on screen before. I have painted one. Annihilator was one of the coolest mini I've painted at the time when I was going through the Dominion box. I thought, this mini's amazing. Look at that detail. Look at all those curves and different bits of armor. The art they've done in this game is exactly the same as the one I've painted myself. Even the gem, if we go back for a moment, look. Okay, let's go back one frame or so, if it lets me. This is the exact version of what I've painted. Well, very close to, right? I couldn't do this lightning effect as well as this one at a time when I painted it in Annihilator. But the armor, all the bits, the color, the grime, the whole thing is just the Annihilator. And I think that is super cool, because if someone plays this game and they go, man, this unit is awesome, and then they go, well, I can actually get a physical version of this, and then go and smash other players with a physical Annihilator. Man, that is cool. And I think I'm hoping on launch this game will have the same effect. Now, let's talk about a little bit of hype with this game and where is it at. So, back in July, they had an open beta, so anyone can... we're still in July today. So, let's clarify. Back in earlier of July, they had an open beta, so anyone can log in and play this for free on the computer, on the Xbox. I play on both Xbox and the computer, just to test it out. And I found the flow of this very... I was going to use some superfluous word that doesn't have much meaning. So I think the game flow was good. It reminded me of Dawn of War a lot. Of course, it didn't have those cannons that can pin you. I mean, that's always the thing. But in terms of how you move, what units do what, it hit a perfect combination, I thought, between Dawn of War and Age of Sigmar. And as someone who loved both of these, especially Dawn of War 2, not 3, I'm really looking forward to see what they will bring to the table when they finish this. So the Stormcast was really fun to play. As they kind of described in this video before, the Stormcast are really elite units that take up a lot of resources, which is exactly the same theme running through Age of Sigmar, right? So I think that part's really cool. And then they have got the shooters and mentioned how it's a perfect balance of melee units that leaders lead in the front and fighting, which is also true in Age of Sigmar, with a balanced view of shooting units supporting them, just like in the game. And then you have a meaty Storm Drake, which they showed in the video, of course, that just flies in, tanks everything, and destroys everyone, just like Age of Sigmar. So, really looking forward to this. Now, I'm not going to go over everything, because I do want to show you one more video to get a balanced view of what this is about, because Realms of Ruin, this game, is not just about Stormcast Eternals. It's also about another faction they reviewed, and we've talked about it already, and let's have a look at that now.
Peggy 16.
Kruleboyz are swamp-dwelling orcs that favor the cunning of Mork over the brutality of Gork. They strike out from their slimy habitats, using all manner of sneaky tactics, poisoned weapons, and foul beasts to overwhelm their enemies in a style of combat based around subterfuge and raiding. In Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Realms of Ruin, the Orc Kruleboyz are led by a cruel and warmongering killer boss known as Dankfear. With a sinister cohort of sycophantic underlings, Dankfear leads relentless raids against the city of Harcanibus. His goal? Bring it to absolute ruin. Dankfear commands the Orc Kruleboyz against more than just the Stormcast Eternals, seeking to establish himself as the dominant force of the wildlands of Gur, no matter the cost. foul and cunning. Orc crewboys field sneaky grunts and dead-eye marksmen, staking out the battlefield defensively before cruelly overwhelming their enemies with vicious beasts of war. Lacking the brawn of their Iron Jaws cousins, the crewboys use a mixture of stealth and surprise to lure their enemies into their territory before unleashing barrages of poisoned bolts
That's
and
really
the might
Mortal Wounds right
of their enslaved warbeasts. Heroes of the Orc crewboys employ mawkish cunning to use anyone and everything to garner an advantage, increasing damage and offensive output. As boss of the Orc crewboys, you'll have access to a wide range of units, including beast-skewer killbows, long-range artillery squads that pierce the toughest armor from sneaky and safe distances, merc knobs, veteran Orc bruisers, who bestow bolstering buffs and crippling debuffs with their trophy-laden belcher banners. And as the battle escalates, the skulking marsh crawler Sloggoth, a patient hunter driven by a motley crew of drum-beating grots, inspiring comrades and ensnaring enemies with nets.
Okay, all right, let's pull it back. So, I think that's a very excellent description and introduction of what Crew Boys is meant to be. Although one would argue, if you are very familiar with Age of Sigmar, the Crew Boys, it's pretty much just the Boat Boys. Let's just call them Boat Boys. But look, I think someone who's played this or really enjoy the mechanics of this game with the Crew Boys, it's totally the time when someone would go out and buy a whole bunch of secondhand Crew Boys units because no one else wants them. Or, like myself, bring back up your Crew Boys units so you can paint them and they'll look awesome. Actually, they're awesome to paint. I've painted about 7 units of my Crew Boys army. Look, coming back, I think a lot of this game shows a lot of promise to bring more people into the hobby in Age of Sigmar, and that's why I'm so excited. I think it's a great chance for you to bring your friends in, like get them hooked into this game. If this game is any good, that is, right? Because we don't know yet. This is still in like between the beta and the release phase. It's set to be released in 2023. We don't know who the remaining 2 factions are going to be, and of course, like Dawn of War style, as they go through seasons, they can release more and more factions. I mean, Age of Sigmar have so many. So if they release a couple every year or every half year, I would pay for that. I mean, if the game's any good, that is. At its current form, at its beta, I mean, I enjoyed it. If they left it on open beta, I think I'll probably keep playing it. But of course, they took it off now for getting ready for release. But anyway, that's a different topic. Wrapping this up, I think Realms of Ruin, in case if you haven't seen this before, do go check that out. I think it's totally worth it. For new players of Age of Sigmar or veterans of Age of Sigmar alike, I think you might enjoy this and find more joy in some of the new armies that you haven't played. I mean, I know a lot of people who play Age of Sigmar never play Stormcast. Maybe after this game, you might. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? And I'm looking forward to introduce this to my son to see if I can reintroduce him to Crew Boys. Because, yeah. Anyway, that's a topic for a different discussion. Okay, so just quickly show that's the website they've got here. If you haven't seen it before, do check it out. Probably follow them. And I really want to do this video because the Realms of Ruin have they have their own YouTube channel, yes? And what happened here is they've only got 3,000, if you can see here, 3,000 subscribers on this. So I would think a lot of people don't actually know about this game yet. And so therefore, it's got a lot of hype. I mean, I've got a lot of hype on it. I hope it'll blow up and everyone plays it. And then after they got sick of this game, they jump into Age of Sigmar. Perfect. Oh, man. Someone should pay me for this. Okay, moving on. So that's what we've got of Realms of Ruin. And to wrap up the new stuff to do with what's going on in the world of Age of Sigmar, between last week and this week, pretty much nothing happened. So I'm not going to do a show for the sake of just putting content on. There's nothing new, so nothing can hype about. Yes, there has been a new boxes release for the Dawn Crusades, but I mean, yeah, people have covered them already. They don't really interest me that much per se, so I can't really hype about it. Yeah. Only do content that I believe in. So, moving on. This week, that's all we've got for Age of Sigmar. Now, I've got 2 games in the realms of crowdfunded stuff that I think is worth checking out. Now, the first one is an interesting pick. You go, hey, John. I mean, if you've been following this guy. Hey, John. Lords of Ragnarok is already finished. The campaign, that is. Totally true. But what is also new is a lot of Lords of Ragnarok has been delivered to backers, like myself. And if you can see here, it's got a whole lot of funding. Now, in short, what this game is it's based on the Norse mythology with Loki, with Thor, with Odin, all those cool people. But they have a unique spin on it, and that is space Vikings. So it's not just Vikings, but Vikings in space. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. So lots of Ragnarok here. This is Freyda, I think. And I've never seen Freyda looks like this before, but here she is. And she looks awesome. She looks more like a Hela to me, like with those blades there. But, I mean, that's my imagination of it. No thank you, Marvel. And this game is really cool. So for the people who don't know this, let's look at some photos, because photos speak 1,000 words. And before I go too deep into the photos, I want to add a new piece of info, which is we received this copy a couple of weeks ago. Me and my son Levi have unboxed it and played it, and it plays awesome. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it. And I'm hyped about it is because it's in the marketplace, and you guys should go and really check it out, because I think a lot of people don't actually know about this game. What a crime. Sorry, I don't mean like in that sense. I mean, I wish they did more marketing. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you go and search for Google how to play or what is Lords of Ragnarok, you don't get a lot of readily available content like some other games like Zombicide, for example, or Blood Rage. So, I wish they did better on marketing on that one. But let's go through some of the key things and see if this is the right game for you, all right? So what we're looking at here are 3 statues, and they call them monuments, and they play a big part of the game. And when they're built, they're huge. They do feel like a monument. So they're about 3 times the size of a standard miniature in this game. So that's cool. Yep, that is the monument for Odin. Well, it's either Odin or Thor, I forgot. But yeah, anyway. And this is Freyda, and they're huge. Now let's jump into a picture with a bigger board, right? So in the corners here, if you can see my little plus sign, yeah? Oh, it's loading. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know it was going to be this big. Okay. So these are the monuments. 1, 2, and there's another one that's not on this map for some reason. But anyway, okay, it's just hidden away on the side there. And all the colored parts are your armies. Okay, so each one of these is an army, and then these are the monuments which your priest can go to get really big buffs. And they trigger to the next stage of the game. And then we've got these funky looking objects here. And they are monsters in this game. So if you've played Blood Rage before, they're like a Blood Rage monster. Except you can control them or you can hunt them. Now, you can leave them wild and they go and wreak havoc to stuff. Or you can take some care, recruit them, become your monster to specifically hunt your enemy, or you can hunt them for game progression, do a quest, get some reward, and it's actually very interesting mechanic that I've never experienced before. When I opened this game, I was half expecting, maybe just a different looking Blood Rage. But no, this game, to me, is actually way deeper than Blood Rage. Surprise, surprise. Now, I don't know if that's going to be true or not, because I've played Blood Rage a lot, and I've just played a little bit of Lords of Ragnarok, and I do have a little bit of bias on Awakened Realm stuff, but yeah, it looks very good. And now, I want to zoom in a little bit, see if this picture has it. Okay, not that clear, but do you see a little black bit here that I'm highlighting with my mouse? Between the green base, that is actually a dial. It's a dial. Now, it's such a clever idea. It's very easy to implement. I'm surprised no one implemented it. So good on you guys, Awakened Realms. So that dial has a number on it, and as you spin it, it sets the strength of that army. Clever. Yeah? So clever. Don't track your extra cubes or dice or stuff like that. It's just in there. And then... my cough is disturbing all of us. I apologize on behalf of my cough. Alright, if you look at this mini, it's got like 3 outer regions. So no matter which direction you look at the mini, you can always see what strength they are. Minor detail, but so clever. It's just one of those things that you look at and you go, why don't all the other games do this? Oh, well, there's probably a reason for that, but costs, etc. But they're so clever. I love it, love it. So you can recruit army. You have a hero that levels up, and I think that's very cool. I think in this case, anyway, that doesn't matter. Oh, she's a hero, Lagertha. Lagertha. If you watch Vikings, yes, Lagertha exists here. So Lagertha is a hero. You've got Ragnar as well. Ragnar's a hero, and you've got a few others. Anyway, very cool. You can level up your heroes. Your heroes can do quest, or your heroes can go and free the land, and then you build more army. So you can either win the game by controlling a lot of land, or you control a lot of temples, which you have to build, or you can sack lands that other people have built temples on, sure. Or what's the third one? Or you hunt the big bad boss, Loki. He's the actual bad boss. So if you kill Loki and a few monsters, then you win the game. Otherwise, they have some other mechanic to tie it up. I mean, this session is not deep enough to go through all the bits and bobs of Lords of Ragnarok. I keep calling it Lots of Ragnarok when I was talking to this with my son. Made him laugh, so I'm happy. So not Lots of Ragnarok, Lords of Ragnarok. The end game is Ragnarok, so when that happens, you tally up your score, you take one more turn, and you end. I guess why am I telling you that all this is... If this kind of sounds interesting to you, it's definitely worth checking out. I think the core box price is not outrageous compared to the other games out there these days, but it offers a lot. There's a lot of depth in here. The production quality is just outstanding. Wow, outstanding. I mean, if you have played Zombicide, and I love Zombicide, yeah? I've talked about it before. We have played, it's one of the first games we have played. Zombicide is great. They've got minis, the game's kind of cool. Man, it looks nothing compared to this game. When you receive Zombicide and this game next to each other, you'd be like, I can't believe I paid this much for Zombicide. Because this is just so awesome. But anyway, that's my view. I mean, if this is interesting to you, yeah, check it out. Highly recommend. All right, now the last game is I want to talk about is this little guy. Because all I talk about on this channel seems to be like miniatures that wages war. Even lots of Ragnarokers, and this is a kind of different one, and I just found this. I mean, I went through about 40, 50 different projects to review on this video, and I didn't find anything, and this kind of stood out to me, so let's have a look.
Welcome to Hamlet, the 1 to 4 player village building game. And we mean that to the very core. an actual growing communal village where placement of buildings and connection with roads matter. Workers running across the village working at woodcutters and farms. Donkeys delivering resources from one building to another building that needs them. An emergent economy where resources are being made, refined into higher quality materials, and then used to construct new buildings. Or sold at the market for gold. Or most importantly, delivered to the center of town to contribute to the building of the church. And then, one day, the church is finished. And what we knew as a hamlet in the country has become a fledgling town. And now, introducing Hamlet by the Lake, the new expansion for Hamlet, where the gaps that form in between the tiles become lakes. Now, villagers can go fishing. Fish tiles from the bag and can either sell the fish or cook them into seasonal meals with special abilities. Boats can be built, which allow villagers, donkeys, and resources to cross. This time, though, only one player owns those boats, so it can create areas on the board where only one player can have access. So, back us now to get access to the new wooden 3D church, metal coins, all of the custom printed wooden meeples, and the one-time limited print of Hamlet by the Lake Founders Edition. Thank you for stopping by. We hope you like it here.
Well, I don't know about you, but after watching that video, I want to move to the lake, Hamlet by the Lake as well. So I guess what's interesting about this one is it's just so completely different to the other stuff that I've looked at. I mean, thinking about, okay, this is not plastic. It's got meeples, but I guess you have the potential to replace the terrains on the pieces with real plastic. Like I was thinking to replace some of those meeples and the townspeople with the Dungeons and Laces Townsfolk pack. Yeah, that would be interesting. But anyway, I think it looks kind of fun, and you've only got 2 more days to go if you want to be in it, and back it now. Otherwise, you can wait until it comes to retail. So I think that's pretty cool as well. So, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, D watchers. Well, my throat is just crazy. So, I guess that's a good time to wrap up. So, in summary, not much have happened around Age of Sigmar this week. Although, I'm really wishing we get some news for the Realms of Ruin for many good reasons that we've just talked about before. In fact, when I first saw the trailer, I thought there was going to be about Neve Black Talent, because that lady seems to be holding a Whirlwind Axe, and a Whirlwind Axe, of course, is a weapon of Knight Zephyros, and Neve is Zephyros. Of course, the hair color is different, and now we know it's not. So, I mean, there's lots of cool things about that one. I hope it comes out. I hope more news comes out about that. And then separately, it's a real surprise, but haven't been able to find any cool new projects that have great minis that I like to look at. I mean, the one thing closed was Swords and Sorcery. That has a Kickstarter that's, I think open for everyone to go and pledge now to get some stuff. But that's not really me. I'm not a big fan of Swords and Sorcery. It's not bad, but I'm certainly not hype about it. Didn't want to talk about that one. Andromeda was another one. That is space trading. I think the mini's quite cool. But I looked at that project. I can't say I'm hyped about that one neither. I mean, if I wouldn't recommend it to my friends, I probably wouldn't recommend it to you guys for hyping anyway. So I didn't, yeah. So it was surprisingly and disappointingly low number of new exciting projects to hype about this week. But here we are anyway, yeah. So once again, thank you for watching. And if you like this kind of video, do like and subscribe and check out other videos. And if there's new type of content you'd like to see, let me know. I'll check them out. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the City of the Sigma. I'm hoping in the next week or so it's going to be released, and then we'll have lots to talk about. Now, last but not least, what am I working on? Well, I'm a bit sad, but there was a monthly event in the local Dice Arcade called AOS in 3D. I couldn't go. I was really looking forward to test my Seraphon army, but I mean, listen to me today. Yesterday was way worse, so there was no way I could have attended. So the next thing I'm looking forward to is probably the Sydney GT, or if there's another one-day event that happens between now and September, I might be looking forward to that too. And I'm going to be concentrating to build up my new Seraphon army. I've got this guy next to my face. I'm putting in a new Craxigor now. Oh, he's so cool. Well, can I just talk about this for a moment? It's not exactly new, but I'm hyped about it. This is a new Seraphon army. These miniatures are so cool. So this guy is the Astrolith banner on the white one that I've primed, and this one's just a Craxigor unit. And of course, you can't have an army without the Stars Seer. So I've got his spaceship chair here, and the little skink is sitting safely somewhere else because he's so small. If I have him lying around my desk, he's going to go missing. That tells you about my desk. So yes, really looking forward to putting the Seraphon together, and hopefully I can get a good game with my friends and the local community. And if you're starting Seraphon as well, or play some Seraphons, I'd love to hear what your experience was, because I was looking forward to share them with, the experience in the battle report with you today, and I couldn't even make the game yesterday. So what a bummer. Something to look forward to next month. And with that, thank you for watching. Hope you roll a lot of sixes, and we'll see you next time. And check out the other videos. All right.